Hey guys, it's Erin with Hand Stamp Style, and today I am going to do a little Q&A for you guys. I've been getting a whole lot of questions about a bunch of different things, and I thought it would be a good time to start to answer those for you guys. My goal is to try and do this weekly for you. We'll see how that goes, but that is my goal. So I'm going to start off with one of the questions that I've gotten several times actually, and it's how do you craft without owning all of the supplies or the tools? And basically you don't. What I mean by that is I don't think there's anyone aside of maybe 2 or 3 people that I can think of that own everything in the catalog or everything in um, this niche of a hobby that we do. Um, it, basically, it comes down to this. I find that if there's something that I don't own, whether it be a stamp set or a particular ink color or what have you, if I'm looking at a particular sample of a project that I want to make, and say I don't have that particular stamp set or that particular punch that they use, I just substitute it. I find something that's similar, either in size or in style. Let's say it's a flower or some type of floral image that they used, and I just substitute it. If it's a particular punch, I try and look for something either that's the same size that they used or maybe the same shape. So let's say they used a scallop circle, and I don't have one. But I have a similar shape or a similar sized scallop square. So, you kind of get the picture. I just substitute. Even though I do this as a business, as a job, I don't own everything in the catalog. I know, it's blasphemy, right? Um, I own a lot of it, but not everything. And especially when it comes to stamps, I don't own probably maybe 6%, 10% of what's in the catalog. My whole thing is I don't buy it unless I'm going to use it. So I know a lot of people who have a lot of stamps, but do they use them all? Uh, I don't know. I know I wouldn't have the time to use them all. And I like to get a lot of use out of the ones that I do buy. So I don't think it's necessary that you actually own every tool in the catalog. There are some, I will say I own probably every punch because I do use those a lot. But as far as I typically purchase all of the big shot things and the punches and the ink pads. But as far as ribbons and the accessories like brads and buttons and things like that, I don't own them all. So if somebody used a particular button in a project and I don't have those, then I substitute with a rhinestone. I know, surprising. Or, some other kind of embellishment. The next question is how to best use the limited craft time that you have. And here's the only solid piece of advice that I can relay. I have to start with a plan. If I sit down to make a project and I don't know what I'm going to make, let's just say all I know is I want to make a card. And I open my computer and I surf Pinterest and I look at all these other sites for just an idea, I'm going to be there for hours and I'm not going to get anything made. So I have to sit down with a plan. I have really had to train myself to do this. When I sit down, I have a few specific sites that I usually refer to. I usually only surf on Pinterest when I'm laying in bed right before I go to sleep. I've kind of restricted myself to that because otherwise I waste too much time during the day on it. But I basically just start with a sketch. I start with a color scheme, and based on those two things, I usually have a kind of a rough idea of what kind of stamp set I want to use. And with those 3 things in mind, I can usually make a card within 10 or 15 minutes. So I would highly recommend starting with a sketch and narrowing down to 2 or 3 colors that you want to use, and you'll be amazed at how much quicker you'll be able to create and how more effective your creativity slot or time frame is for you. So those are my recommendations. The last question for today is how to find others that I can craft with. Um, Not it's a shameless plug, I guess, but one of the best ways I would think is to be able to come to my classes. And if you don't live locally and you can't come to the San Antonio area, I do a lot of virtual and online classes, and have just recently started doing online retreats. And the online retreats are great because you can actually interact with others there in the same um, event, I guess is what you would want to call it. Um, so it's more of like a community where you can talk to each other, you can share your projects with each other. It's really kind of a cool setup. I'll set up or put a link at the bottom of this video so that you can see kind of what I'm talking about. Um, but aside from really coming to classes and just getting out there, I don't really know of another way. And I know it can be scary, especially when you're in a brand new area and you don't really know anybody. I personally think it's probably one of the best ways to get to know people. So I'll put my contact information as well below this video. And if you live in the San Antonio area, or just around, there's quite a few cities just around here, I would love to have you come to a class. Um, so give me a call or contact me, and we'll get you in. So I hope you found this helpful and informative. If you've got questions, please submit them. You can leave a comment right under this video, or you can always hit me up on Facebook or on my blog. All that information will be below this video as well. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.